chapter number 28 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3. Let me share my screen. Okay. All right. Hare Krishna. So this is chapter number 28 from Canto number 3. A quick context. Who is speaking this? This is given by Lord Kapila Deva. And to whom he is giving these instructions? To Devahuti. Right? Kapila Deva is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. And Devahuti is his mother. So Devahuti is asking some questions and Kapila Deva is answering the questions. So let us go to the previous chapter first and see what are the questions that Devahuti has asked. Right? So Devahuti has asked, how can this liberation ever happen? Because we are under the capture of the material nature. The material nature has captured the soul. The soul is very much attracted to material nature, Maya. Right? When will this material nature ever release the spirit soul? Each of them is attracted to each other. Right? So the soul wants to enjoy the material nature. And how is this separation possible? Eternally they are attracted to each other. Eternally, we have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. So, but we have to separate this. How? How is it possible? That's the question. So then the Lord will explain. And he gives a very nice answer. He says, the Supreme Personality of God said, one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. By thus executing one's prescribed duty, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from contamination of matter. So the thing is, at the moment, the living entity is contaminated by matter. So we are all living entities, Jiva. A living entity has no birth or death. But unfortunately, what has happened is over a long association with the material nature, we have falsely come to a conclusion that I am the body. And as long as we are under this impression that I am the body, all the difficulties that are connected with the body, I will think that they are mine. And as long as my mind is dictating, my intelligence is dictating, my false ego is dictating me, I will be continuing to suffer birth and death. We will never be able to achieve what the Shastras are telling, liberation, self-realization. Again, the Lord is saying one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service. It's a very important point. It is called Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. It is Tivra. See this. Swadharmena Atmana Amalatmana Tivrena Mai Bhaktya. Tivraya Maya Bhaktya. Tivra means, in Sanskrit, very serious. It is not something to be done very casually. Because everybody in India is more or less a devotee. That is there. Every household, everybody does puja. That's fine. There's no household who doesn't do any puja or devotional service. But that is not enough. If one is serious about liberation, we must discharge devotional service tivrena. Tivrena, intense. Hearing a long time about me. This is the process recommended by God. Okay. And how to do that, the specifics that will be given by the Guru, the spiritual master. So the Guru, who comes in a bona fide spiritual disciplic succession, one of the bona fide spiritual successions, the Guru will give, based on the previous Acharya's recommendations, based on the Shastras, based on personal realization, when he has himself realized the Supreme, He will give based on the time, place, and circumstance for this 21st century, for urban people, how we can do devotional service. The Guru will say that we have to follow. Then we can actually liberate ourselves from this platform of material nature. So, Lord Kapiladeva is continuing to explain that by doing like this, one becomes completely self-realized. And then he's continuing and telling how one must meditate. A yogi who wants self-realization must properly meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here is the process of meditation system. Okay, the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also called as Dhyana Yoga. Am I right? So many of you might have felt after reading the 6th chapter, it would have been nice if Lord Krishna explained more about the yoga system. Lord Krishna explains about the mind, how to control the mind, how to control senses, and he explains about how one must sit down in a secluded place and meditate upon the Lord by closing the eyes half open, keeping the eyes half open, and then meditating upon the Supreme Lord. Concentrating on the tip of the nose. So we may be naturally very curious. Can we get more detail to that subject? So today's chapter is the details. It's about the yoga system, Ashtanga yoga system. This Ashtanga yoga system is a bona fide process for a new devotee who has no faith in pure devotional service to meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if one is doing pure devotional service, we are doing the Ashtanga yoga system. How? We may think. When we are doing deity worship, right, we are meditating upon the limbs of the Lord. We are meditating upon each limbs of the Lord. When we are showing agarbatti, flowers, all of this. So this process, we are automatically doing it. So pure devotional service covers everything. So when you perform pure devotional service, we are on the path to self-realization. But it has to be done with a lot of faith. It's called Shraddhaya Shri Vigraha Sevana. With faith, with a lot of faith, we must do deity worship. Okay, so this process, we must do it with faith and we must do it with intensity. And we should never slack our practices. Whatever the spiritual master gives, we must very sincerely do it. All right. So now let us go to the process. By doing this process, Krishna is saying, Lord Kapiladeva is saying, we will no longer be attracted to the byproducts of any kind of mystic powers or manifestations of external energy. Then what happens is progress towards Krishna becomes unlimited and the power of death cannot overcome such a yogi. So this yoga is the most powerful yoga system. It's very interesting. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Yoginam api sarvesham madgati nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mata. Among all the different kinds of yogis, the one who is meditating upon Lord Krishna, the one who is serving Lord Krishna is the best. This Bhagavad Gita is called as Yoga Shastra. Lord Krishna is called as Yogeshwareshwaraha. He's also called as Yogeshwara, also sometimes called Yogeshwareshwaraha. He is the Ishvara of the Yogeshwara. He is the Yogeshwara. He is the Lord of Yoga. Yoga system. You see this yoga system? But not everybody understands. But the problem is, I tell you, see, it's a fundamental violation of principles, okay? Bhagavatam principle is religious principles or dharma must not be used for artha or kama. Artha must not be used for kama. That means religious principles are not meant for earning wealth. And wealth is not meant for kama. Kama means sense gratification. So similarly, this yoga system, right, is dharma. So dharma is meant for moksha, liberation. Dharma is meant for liberation, paramadharma. The purpose of giving this yoga system is not that we make our body very sturdy for more sense gratification. That is not the purpose. But that is how we are advertising the yoga system. And the so-called yoga teachers are also teaching that aspect of yoga, the physical aspect of yoga, that too for the purpose of further sense gratification. How can I gratify my senses more by doing yoga system? We are not using yoga system to say, how can I serve Krishna more? How can I become more devotional? How can I get more bhakti? How can I become liberated? How can I get rid of these three modes of material nature? That's the original purpose of yoga. But we are using yoga system for what? For this, that my bodily diseases are reduced, my mental concentration increases, so that I can meditate on the sense objects better. That's not the purpose of yoga. It's completely defeating the purpose. So this has to stop. So here, let us go into detail of chapter number 28, Krishna's instructions on the execution of devotional system, the service. So Krishna is saying, Krishna, Kapil Deva, the same. Kapil Deva is the incarnation of Krishna. So I am sometimes exchanging Krishna and Kapil Deva, but there's nothing wrong because Kapil Deva is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. So here you can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead is saying, I am going to explain to you the system of yoga. This yoga system, right, the Ashtanga yoga system, the purpose is, the object is to concentrate the mind. And ultimate goal is one can become joyful and progressively advanced towards the path of the absolute truth. We want to understand the absolute truth. That's the purpose. And here he's saying one should execute his prescribed duties and should be satisfied with as much gain as he achieves by the grace of the Lord. And one should worship the lotus feet of his spiritual master. See, these are the principles. Acharyopasanam. Acharyopasanam means to worship the lotus feet of the spiritual master. This is a very important principle. In spiritual progress, if you want to make even a 1 millimeter of progress also, you should be dedicated towards worshipping the lotus feet of a spiritual master. The bona fide spiritual master, when you worship, is more powerful than the worship of Lord Vishnu himself. That is a principle of Krishna consciousness. Right? Tadiyanam samarchanam. That means Lord Shiva is saying, better than the worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of the Vaishnava. Vaishnava means the Guru. The Guru is a pure devotee who is 100% dedicated to Krishna. Such a pure devotee, if you worship, that is more powerful than the worship of Krishna. It's very important, okay? So we must execute our prescribed duties, no problem. Prescribed duties, we must actually execute. So a lot of people think, oh, what is this? Is this that should we leave our prescribed duties and become a saint, or what do you say, become a complete mendicant and beg now? No, that's not Krishna consciousness. That's not what Krishna is saying. Krishna is, on the other hand, encouraging you to do your work sincerely. Actually, we are not performing our duty sincerely. We are saying that we want to perform, but we are not interested. That's the problem. We are not interested in dharma. We are interested in artha and kama. That is the economic gain and sense gratification. That is our focus. But Krishna is bringing our mind towards a prescribed duty. He's saying, do your duty and avoid paradharma. That means, paradharma means the duty which is not yours, don't do. Because these duties are enjoined based on the Shastras, according to our nature, time, place, and circumstance, based on our bodily condition, these duties are given. So do the duty and be satisfied with how much ever gain we get by the grace of the Lord. Don't hanker for what we do not get. The living entities, There are millions of living entities. Some of them get some things, others get others. Some of them are blessed with good health. Some are blessed with good wealth. Some are blessed with good education. Some are blessed with good family. Like that, based on their past karma, they get a variety of combinations of results for their activities. Two students may be studying in the same school, same bench, but one person is today an IAS officer, other person is just an ordinary person, maybe ordinary clerk. Very much possible. It is all based on past karma. So we should be just satisfied with whatever we gain by the grace of the Lord. Whatever we get, we should think this is the grace of the Lord. This is how much Krishna has given me, and I should be satisfied. We should not be hankering after what is not there, and and use all our energy in contemplating about what is not there and waste our time. We should not do that. We should rather use our energy to worship the lotus feet of the spiritual master and Krishna. And we should not be attracted towards conventional religious practices. So, religious practices, there are two practices. One is the real religion, another is the external religion. External religious principles, we must not be very much attracted towards that. We should be attracted towards the internal religion. Internal religion means essence. What is the essence? For example, if you're going to a college, what is the essence? The essence is that you gain knowledge. The essence is that you gain some opportunities and skills to get another job. For example, you should gain that essence of that. Instead, if you are just simply getting bogged down by marks or something which is external, which is not translating to anything useful, simply cramming and vomiting in the exam, this is not useful. This is called external practice. Conventional religious practices are like that. They're simply external. We should be attracted to the real religion. The real religion, dharma, is meant for salvation. That is to give us ultimate benefit of liberation. It's not meant for giving us temporary sense gratification. Go to an astrologer and the astrologer says, read Hanuman Chalisa 10 times and then you will get a nice wife. This is not religion. Okay, this is misuse of religion. Okay, that is not the purpose of Vedas, that we go to astrologer and do some mantras and chant this and that. That is called conventional religious practices. This is not the purpose. We should be attracted to the practice which leads to salvation. That is Krishna consciousness. Eat frugally and remain secluded and practice the non-violence, truthfulness, etc. And be steady in practicing yogic postures and control the breathing. So this is about the Ashtanga Yoga system, right? Yogic postures are very beautifully designed. So that is our wealth, right? So we are very proud of this yoga system. And the whole world is taking up this yoga system because they are able to experience results. By sitting in certain yogic postures, there is a balance of the three humors, kapha, vata, pitta, within the body. Okay. And by regulated practice of this breathing, pranayama, the mind becomes fixed up. So this is not anybody's greatness. We see that there are a lot of people who are publishing papers on different things like Sudarshana Kriya, etc., different foundations. But this breathing exercise is not their copyright. It is not their trademark that they have invented pranayama. Nobody can say, I invented pranayama. It is mine. This is my system. No. This is Krishna's system. That is a breathing exercise, pranayama. So by doing pranayama and this system, which is given by different rishis like Patanjali, etc., the original master of this yoga is Krishna. So why do we do this breathing exercises? It will purify our mind. And then you see, You know what is the meaning of samadhi? Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 limbs. Asana, first is, yama niyama, regulations. Pratyahara, yama niyama, asana, pranayama. Means first you do basic regulated practice like following some basic simple rules like not eating too spicy food, too oily food, etc. Or not eating meat or alcohol, etc. And then that is like regulatory principles, yama niyama and pranayama and asana, sitting down in a posture which is comfortable. Sit down in a posture. Then do pranayama, breathing exercise. So regulated breathing controls the mind. And then dhyana, dharana, samadhi, pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdraw the sense from sense objects. The problem is our mind, our senses are always attracted to sense objects. Eyes are attracted to something which looks beautiful. Nose is attracted to which is something which is smelling very nice. Is it not? And tongue is attracted to some tasty food. Skin is attracted to some nice sense gratification. So we have to first withdraw the senses from the sense objects and concentrate the mind on the heart. And then we have to concentrate our mind on the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have to remember the pastimes of Lord Krishna. You see, for example, in Damodara Leela, right, Kartik Mas, we keep meditating upon that Damodar Leela. How Lord Krishna has performed, how he has stolen the butter, how Yashoda is chastising Lord Krishna, how she is trying to tie a rope to Lord Krishna, right? And how he is getting scared of her mother. So we are just meditating on this. This concentration on the transcendental pastimes is called samadhi. This is samadhi. The ultimate goal of Ashtanga Yoga is samadhi. Ultimate goal of Ashtanga Yoga is not to maintain the BMI index. That's not the purpose of yoga system. That is a perverted thing that we have created. Just like how we are pervertedly changing everything, we want to remove Krishna from everything. That is our disease. Just like we want Ramaraja, but we don't want Lord Ramachandra. That is our disease. So similarly, yoga we want, but we don't want Krishna. But that is not possible. Then it is no longer called yoga. It is just simply bodily exercises. So we remove the God aspect from everything. That means it's almost like removing the soul from a body. If you remove the soul from the body, it's a dead body. Similarly, our religious practices are more or less like a dead body without Krishna. Krishna is the soul. He is the super soul. He is the center. That's the main object. The object of knowledge, Krishna says in 13th chapter, Gneya, object of knowledge, is the super soul. Jnana is to know about the super soul. The object of knowledge is Krishna. So by these processes, we fix our thought on Krishna. That's the purpose. The purpose of every religious activity is for the same, to fix our thought on Krishna. The day when we forget Krishna is a bad day. The day when we remember Krishna is a good day. Not that when it is eclipse, when there is Rahu, when there is Shani, it is a bad day. No. What is more inauspicious or the worst day is when we forget Krishna. That is the worst day. The principle of religion is this. So then, sit in a sanctified position, keeping the body erect and doing the practice of the breathing control, inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. Okay, Rechaka, Kumbhaka, Puraka, taking the inhale, hold, exhale. We all have experience going to various yoga classes. We know this. But the main problem with these yoga classes is the purpose, the essence is killed. Nobody is explaining the purpose. So by killing the essence, we are spoiling the whole thing. And the so-called yogis, the teachers, have no clue what is samadhi. And they have absolutely no idea that this is all leading to Krishna consciousness, which is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedanta Sutras are talking about yoga system. The purpose is to meditate upon Krishna. They have absolutely no clue. They're saying meditate on a candle, meditate on a desk, meditate on this, meditate on that. This is the problem we have. Yogis who are practicing this breathing exercises are freed from all material disturbances. See, our problem is we don't have concentration, right? So any activity that we do, religious activity, our problem is like we are distracted, right? The phone notifications are there, and then somebody's at the door, and then we are thinking about what we are supposed to do, the deadlines, and we are thinking about the bills and so many things, and we are so disturbed. We are not able to do one activity at a time. We are doing multiple activities at a time. So ultimately, we want concentration. Okay. So these breathing exercises, yoga system brings us concentration of mind so that we can do Krishna consciousness properly. So whatever mental disturbances are there due to the mode of passion, they get pacified by pranayama. And then we can become free from sinful activities. Otherwise, our mind is naturally attracted towards sinful activities. And we can free ourselves from material nature association by meditating on Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the next step is to meditate on Lord Krishna. Now that you have sat down in a nice yogic posture, you're doing nice breathing control exercise, all fine on the yoga mat. But now the next thing is you should meditate on the Supreme Lord. That is the final goal. But this we are not doing. If we don't do this, then we cannot get the result. The result here is that you will get free from the three modes of material nature. That is the necessary thing, right? And we must be pure. And then we should focus on the tip of the nose and see the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the Patanjali Yoga system is saying the same thing. Patanjali Yoga system also is saying that we must see the form of Supreme Personality of God. Now tell me, how many of you have ever heard this, that you should actually meditate on Krishna in any one of the TVs, Samskar TV, and all the yogis, Baba Ramdev, everybody. Did anybody inform us that we are supposed to meditate on Krishna? Absolutely not. Okay, now we will see the actual yoga system. Whatever we heard is so-called yoga system. That's not yoga at all, actually. Like I said, it's like a lifeless dead body. Here is the thing. Here is the real thing. Now we will see what is the real yoga system. Meditation upon Supreme Personality of God. Krishna said the same thing to Arjuna. Sit down in a secluded place, be completely free from sex life, and just don't take a very high seat or low seat. Keep your neck erect and keep your eyes half closed, and then meditate upon me. In one verse, Krishna explained. That one verse will have much more deeper explanation. Okay. Now, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance. His face is like a lotus. And his body looks like a petal of a blue lotus, a blue color lotus. His color is like blue. And he's holding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, conch, Shankha, discus, Sudarshana Chakra, mace, Kaumudiki, Gada. And description is given here. Yellowish shining cloth. And on his heart, chest, we see Srivatsa mark. A curl of white hair is there. That is so beautiful. One white hair is there. That's called Srivatsa mark. And Kaustuba is a beautiful, beautiful, exquisite jewel suspended on his neck. And then garlanded by beautiful Vanamala, Parijata flowers. And these flowers are so beautiful that there are bees swarming around that flowers, humming. We should meditate upon all of this. And Krishna or Vishnu, he's wearing a lot of golden ornaments, pearl necklace, and a kirita, crown made up of gold and exquisite jewels, armlets, bracelets, anklets, beautifully decorated. And in his loins and hips, encircled by girdle. Girdle means it's like a ladies also, ladies wear generally, right? I don't know what you call it in different languages, but it's like a golden ornament which you wear it around your hips. Is wearing that beautiful ornament, and is very charming to look at, and he's looking very beautiful, and is worshipped by inhabitants of all planets, and he's youthful. He's very youthful. Another feature of Lord, he looks very youthful. Actually, he's the oldest person. He says, Purana Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha. Adyam. He is the original person. After annihilation, there is only one person. Before the creation, there is only one person. He is the oldest person. Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha. Again, doesn't mean that he is having white hair. He's looking like an old grandfather. No. He's youthful. Navayavvanam cha. And he's eager to bestow blessings to his devotees. And then how the yogi will be visualizing the Lord standing, moving, lying down, or sitting with him. Right? So the Lord, you see, different deity forms are there. So you all have experience of visiting Lord Vishnu temples, am I right? So sometimes you will see Lord Vishnu reclining position, sleeping, right? Garbhodakashai, Sheshashai, Ananta Shesha sleeping, sometimes standing, sometimes sitting, sometimes doing some pastime. Krishna's, for example, Krishna putting his hand on Balaram. No, Krishna Balaram temple. Or Kaliya Mardana temple, Krishna is dancing on Kaliya. So there was one question that was asked by one devotee, that why is it that Lord Vishnu sometimes is sitting, sometimes standing, sometimes sleeping? What is going on? How should we understand this? The explanation given is like this. You see, let us say somebody taken some money from us. Okay, something like I took some money from a lender. So the lender, he will come to our house and request, please give the money. Then we'll say, I'll give you. Wait. Please come later. Then he will go back and come again and say, he'll knock the door. He's a nice guy. Okay. He says, please return my money. Please come. Then we'll say, not now. Come again. Come again. Come again. Come again. And then this guy becomes very tired, and then he doesn't want to go home now. Okay. Now he's just sitting outside our house. Sometimes he's just sitting, just waiting for us to come and give the money. Right? Sometimes like he's sleeping there only outside the house. So it will come someday and we'll give the money. Sometimes standing and waiting when he'll come, when he'll come, when he'll come. Similarly, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is waiting for all of us. So we are saying, Lord, I am actually busy. I have like a family to take care of. Okay, I have to go to office. I have to clean the utensils. I have to cook the vegetable, and I have to pack the tiffin. And I'm busy right now. Okay, I'll come. I'll come. Surely I'll come back to God. I'll do devotional service. I'll chant. Everything I'll do. Okay, I like all this. But not now. I'm little busy. Then Lord is waiting that you will come someday. So he's standing and waiting like this. Okay. Are you free now? So then we are like in another stage of life. So he's saying, no, right now I don't have a job, but then I'm busy with something else. I have to take care of my children. That's my problem. I can't come now. This is not the time. So the Lord is sleeping and saying, okay, maybe he'll come. So, okay, will you come now? So, no, I have grandchildren to take care of. Not now. So Lord is waiting for us. When you will come, when you will come, when you will come. Okay, but we are saying we'll come later, not now. He is very eager. We are not eager. We are not interested. So like this, it's a funny explanation why Lord is sometimes standing, sometimes sitting, sometimes is like waiting perpetually. When this fellow will turn to me, how much you will suffer? Every lifetime, you're going behind the same story, same repetition. And at the end, same story, same suffering, same crying, same thing. When will this fellow get bored of this? Then he will surrender to me. Okay, let me wait. He's patiently waiting. So, yogi should not take a collective view of the limbs. Fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. Just look at one limb at once. So, Lord Vishnu's limbs, right? So, let me just show you this. So, how you should meditate? Yeah, you can see, right? So, when you see Lord Darshan, should start with the lotus feet, okay? And meditate upon the lotus feet. Just meditate upon the lotus feet. This is a meditation system, okay? This is a system. Nobody is talking about it, unfortunately. People are talking about law of attraction, law of manifestation, and the secret, and a lot of nonsense. But nobody is talking about the topmost yoga system. Okay, here is the topmost yoga system. This is like, see, how to meditate, I'll tell you. Just meditate on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, for example. Just see how his feet are. We should focus like that. We should look at the nails of the Lord. Okay? Because from these nails, there is a dazzling light that is coming out of the spiritual world, which is the source of all the sun planets in all the universes. I mean, you can imagine how dazzling that light will be that is coming from the nails of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So like that, we should slowly see how Lakshmi Devi is serving this lotus feet. Very carefully, she is massaging the lotus feet from the complete ankles to thighs. Very carefully, she is executing her devotional service. And these lotus feet are the shelter for all the living entities. Whenever we are in danger, we should actually remember the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That is the only thing that can protect us. And this lotus feet has some beautiful description also. Samudrika Lakshana. That means just like there are some people who can see the palms, right? They can know what are all the symptoms, or what are all the signs on the palms. Similarly, on the legs also, there are some signs which are unique to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Should remember and meditate upon that. Slowly come up and see the beautiful dress worn by Lord. It's like a shining yellowish cloth. And we should look at the golden ornaments around the hip of the Lord. We should come a little ahead and then see the garland worn by Lord. And that garland, near the garland, there are so many buzzing bees. We should meditate upon that. We should meditate upon the chest of Lord Vishnu, where Srivatsa mark is there, right? Where Lakshmi Devi resides. We should meditate upon that chest, right? We should meditate upon the hands of Lord Krishna. Abhaya Hasta means he is giving us assurance, or he is giving us assurance that do not fear. Ma Shucha. Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja. He's saying, just take my shelter. Do not be worried. Ma Shucha. Do not be fearful. So he's giving Abhaya Hasta. So that hands which are placed on the devotees like Prahalad Maharaj and on the heads of gopis. So these beautiful Abhaya Hasta, we should actually meditate upon. The hands of the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, you see. And the navel of Lord, which is as deep as the universe, which is so deep that a lotus flower which has come out of that navel has given birth to Lord Brahma. And Brahma is the creator of the universe. And all the universes enter into this lotus navel. After the end of the annihilation is happening, all the universes, everybody goes inside the stomach of Lord Vishnu. That navel we should meditate upon. And in the hands, we can see Sudarshana Chakra. We should meditate upon the Sudarshana Chakra, which has 1,000 spokes. This Sudarshana Chakra is the annihilator of the demoniac people who are disturbing the devotional service of the pure devotees. So this is the Sudarshana, which chased Durvasa when he tried to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Right? This is the Sudarshana which has killed Shishupala. This is the Sudarshana which has killed so many demons in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Correct? And we should meditate upon the Sudarshana Chakra, which is like the wheel of time. Just like the wheel of time, we are all controlled by time, and the time is under the control of Lord Vishnu. So the Sudarshana represents that time, right? Annihilator of the miscreants and the protector of the devotees, Sudarshana. Kaumudi, the club. The club which was used by Lord Varaha to fight with Hiranyaksha. The club with which he uses to pound the demons in the material world who are disturbing the devotees. It's said that it is smeared with the fresh blood of demons. That means it's very active. It's not that it's a dusted. It's dusted. It's always ready, and it is used for pounding the demoniac people. Right? It's smeared with the blood of the demons. So that Lord is always keeping it ready to protect. And the lotus flower in the hands of Krishna. Right? And a conch shell, which looks like a swan. Right? And the chest of the Supreme Lord, and the hands or the shoulders of the Lord, which are the source for the demigods. All the demigods are residing in the shoulders of the Lord. The demigods get strength from the shoulders of the Lord. And then we should look at the lotus face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His smile can vanquish or dry up the tears accumulated in millions of lifetimes. So we may have so much of suffering. Everybody says the same story. I am suffering. I am suffering. I have so much difficulty. It's like a competition. I am suffering more. I am suffering more. That is our material life. So we may be crying. Okay, if you collect all the tears from all the lifetimes, it may be gallons of liters of tears. All of that can be just dried up by looking at the smile of Lord Vishnu. All the suffering is extinguished by just simply meditating on the Lord Vishnu's smile. And the lotus nose, beautiful nose of Lord Vishnu, and the lotus eyes of Krishna. Okay, these eyes are like looking with a lot of love, right? And the laughter of Lord Krishna. And the helmet or kirita, right? And he is on a bed. It's not like our bed, like a cotton bed, right? It's a bed of a snake. Right? This is Ananta Shesha. It's not an ordinary snake. Ananta Shesha is the incarnation of the Lord and a very powerful. It is so strong. It is so strong. It is incarnation of Lord Balram. It is so strong that it can take the weight of all the universes on it. That is Ananta Shesha. So this is how we should meditate upon the Lord. This is the yoga system. This is that nobody tells us. Nobody teaches this yoga system. Everybody teaches us meditate on a candle, meditate on a bulb. There is some meditation, bulb meditation. Bulb means you should meditate on a bulb. This is called one meditation system. There is another system, pyramid meditation. Means you have to meditate on a pyramid. So many nonsense meditations are there. Okay, this is not one of them. This is the authorized Vedic version, the ultimate yoga system. The final purpose of yoga system, you're doing asana, pranayama, fine, but you're not doing the meditation on Lord Vishnu. The samadhi, that's the main culmination of meditation. This is going to give us the liberation. This is going to actually raise us above from the three modes of material nature. Not by doing a cat pose, dog pose, and sitting inverted down. That is not going to give you liberation for sure. Okay. Let's see more. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, let's see this. So some specifics here. Yeah. The yogi should fix on the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. And we should focus our mind on the lotus feet, which has a thunderbolt, a gold banner, and a lotus. There is something called as a flag on it. It's called Jayapataka. Our Guru Maharaj's name is Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Jayapataka means it's a flag. It is a flag on the feet of Lord Vishnu. Okay, so thunderbolt is there, gold banner, lotus, all of this is there. And then you see what it is written. This lotus feet is so powerful. Do you know how powerful it is? The lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. It is so powerful that the Lord Brahma washes this lotus feet and Lord Shiva accepts the water running stream that is coming from Lord Vishnu on his head for his purification. That means if this water touching the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu is purifying Lord Shiva, you can imagine how pure this lotus feet is. So all the great yogis, they meditate upon the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And we must meditate on the activities of Lakshmi. Lakshmi is always doing seva kainkarya. Seva kainkarya. That means she's always engaged in the worship or the lotus feet she is massaging. Her activity all the day is how to serve Lord, how to serve his lotus feet, how to do his deity worship, like that, 24/7. So all the demigods are worshipping Lakshmi. Everybody hankers for Lakshmi's glance, that let Lakshmi look at me once, that's all, then I'll become extremely rich. Even the demigods are hankering for it. But Lakshmi herself is strictly, seriously doing devotional service without wasting even a minute or a second, setting an example for all of us how devotional service must be performed. Like I said, Tivraya, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena means intense devotional service, not 10-minute devotional service. Every day morning, 10-minute devotional, doing some puja, opening IPL and sitting. This is not called devotional service. Okay. So this is the example. How she's doing 24/7. How can I serve Lord? 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 That's how she's massaging. Right? And then yogi should meditate on the thighs of the Lord and his hips and the girdle and the yellow silk cloth which is extending down to his ankles, and the navel, which is the foundation of the universe, from where all the 14 planetary systems have come. From the navel, there is a lotus stalk that comes, and in that stalk, there are 14 planetary systems. And at the time of annihilation, it retracts inwards. All the 14 planetary systems, which we are sitting right now, we are very interested in this material world, all this material world, all the wonderful foreign countries, they will all go inside the stomach of Lord Vishnu. Okay. This lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. Right? And then there is a white pearl necklace around his chest. Okay. And then on the chest of the Lord, Mahalakshmi is there. He's also called as Srinivasa. Srinivasa. Lord Balaji, we call Srinivasa. Srinivasa means, so Lakshmi is residing on the chest of Lord Vishnu. So Lakshmi Devi has dedicated her life in massaging the feet and thighs of Lord Vishnu. And what did Lord Vishnu give in return? Lord Vishnu kept her in his heart area forever. So that is the exchange. So if we do devotional service, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyah. If you do devotional service of the Lord, he reciprocates better than you. Whatever you give, he gives 100 times more. If you do a little service, he does much more back. That is the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyah. right? So, and then on the neck there is the Kaustuba Mani. It is also the nicest slokas also we see, right? Lakshmi Vakshasthala Sthitam. And then Srivatsa Vaksham and Kaustuba Mani, right? Kaustuba Mani is the jewel, beautiful jewel which is hanging on the Lord. See, Lord is the Bhushana Bhushanangam. Bhushana Bhushanangam means he is not decorated by ornaments. The ornaments are decorated by him. That is his beauty. He is so beautiful that the ornaments which are there on him, they look beautiful because of him. It's not that he looks beautiful because of the ornaments he wears. These are all very divine ornaments. So what we should learn from that is, why Lord is wearing so many ornaments? He is the Bhokta. He is the original enjoyer, not me. I am not supposed to be wearing all the necklaces and all the golden earrings and finger rings. I'm supposed to give it to Krishna. Krishna is the original enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the Lord. I am not the Lord. But because of our false ego, I am thinking I am the Lord. This is the first reason why we fell down into the material world. Our problem is we want to be the Lord. We want to decorate our body. But our body is no different from a dead body. It's the decoration for a dead body. That is our body. Our body is a source of all diseases. Then why are we doing this decoration? We should decorate Lord. Yogi should meditate on the Lord's 4 arms, which are the source of the demigods, who control all the functions of material nature. All the functions are controlled by the material nature, these demigods. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu. We are seeing so many monsoons which are coming out of season. Southwest monsoon, southeast monsoon. We are experiencing cyclones. All these are managed by demigods. Varuna, Indra. And these demigods are actually getting power from the arms of the Supreme Lord. Okay. And then we should meditate on Sudarshana Chakra. Right? So Sudarshana Chakra, 1,000 spokes, dazzling luster, and a conch shell, which looks like a swan. And meditate upon his club, Kaumudaki, which is very dear to him. It smashes the demons who are always inimical towards the devotees. And there's a beautiful Vanamala. He's also called as Vanamali. Beautiful, nice garland surrounded by bumblebees. These bumblebees are sounding. It's like they're like singing the glories of Lord. They're singing all the Vedic hymns to glorify the Supreme Personality of God. They are devotees. And the pearl necklace. Each of these necklaces is the pure living entities which are engaged in his service. So the more we love Krishna, he loves us more. So he is engaging all the living entities. He's keeping as a necklace around him. All the pure living entities. So that is the reciprocation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The yogi then meditates on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord. Face is like a lotus. And out of compassion for the anxious devotees, he has taken so many forms. Lord has taken so many forms. We have 10 avatars, right? Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrisimha, and Rama, Krishna, so many. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. There are only 10 I mentioned, but there are 22 mentioned in Bhagavatam. There are many more, unlimited incarnation. Hayagriva is also one of them, for example. Kapila Deva, who is telling, he is also incarnation. Innumerable incarnations. Meditate upon the beautiful face with curly hair. He's got curly hair. And I read somewhere, he also oils his hair. So nicely he's oiled. It's not like dry. It's properly oiled and shining hair. And having a lotus in the hands with swarming bees. This is looking very beautiful. And his glances are compassionate to soothe the most fearful agonies of the devotees. Right? So his glances are accompanied by loving smiles with abundant grace. See, Krishna is giving us protection. We are not able to understand it. He is giving us complete education. He is giving us complete knowledge. We are not taking it. And then we are saying, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? We are suffering because we are not ready to follow what Krishna is saying. Krishna is explaining everything in Bhagavad Gita, in the scriptures. Why is the suffering? What is the source of suffering? What are we supposed to do? What is this material world? How we are supposed to lead the life? He has given everything, but we don't want to follow. And when we again go back to Krishna and complain, we are feeling again, we are feeling suffering. Just like small children, parents are telling, don't do this, don't do this, not following, and again ultimately going back to father and crying that I'm not good, I'm not good. Father says, I told you don't eat, but you ate. Krishna is warning us, don't take the poison, don't take the poison, don't take this material world poison and sense gratification. But we take that poison. And after taking the poison, what will happen? Death, slow poison, disease. Then we go and complain, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? I have done so much of devotional service. But we are not following whatever Krishna is saying. Okay. And whatever devotional service we are doing is, how much ever do it is less. Supposed to do tivrena, very, very intense. And it is not meant that Krishna never said that, okay, now that you did devotional service, nothing will happen. The nature of material world is temporary. Krishna has already said that. Everything is going, the body is filled with diseases. This is the body. We have to understand the knowledge. From a knowledge point of view, we have to understand. We are not ready to hear only. We just want to shut our ears. When Krishna is saying we're shutting our ears, we're forgetting. Then how we can get knowledge? Yogi must meditate on the benevolent smile of Lord Hari, which can dry away ocean of tears caused by intense grief. So this intense grief and sadness is just a manifestation of our modes of material nature. That is like, because of our desire, Krishna is warning us, don't get into desire. Kama is a eternal enemy. Are we taking it seriously? No. We think Kama is, no, why is it so enemy? It is very innocent. I shall engage. We think like that. That is called violation of the instructions of the Lord. Naturally, when we violate the instructions of a general physician, we'll be diseased. When we violate the instructions of the spiritual master, we will not progress. When we violate the instructions of Krishna, we will suffer and we must suffer. What else? What is there? It's obvious. That is how the nature is created. Yogi must meditate on the Lord's smile. Yogi must meditate upon the laughter of Vishnu. Okay, his laughter is very beautiful and his small teeth are there which resemble like jasmine buds. And yogi should not desire anything else other than this. Yogi should gradually develop pure love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the course of devotional service, the hair on the body stand erect through excessive joy. And is constantly bathed in the stream of tears. And even the mind which used to be attracting the Lord, as one attracts a fish to the hook, withdraws from material activity. Very beautiful example given here. Just see this. Nayanam galada Sridharaya vadanam gadgada ruddaya gira pulakay nichitam vapukkada tavanama grahane bhavishyati. How do you know that you are doing progressing devotional service nicely? Here are the symptoms. Romancha, that means the hair standing on the end. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to remember Krishna, all the hairs on his body used to stand erect and he used to look like a jackfruit. So hard the hairs would be standing. I mean, that is extreme. He's Mahabhava, he's Lord Krishna himself. But here at least he's saying, because of joy, tears should be coming like a stream. Right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to cry, it used to come like a jet of tears, like a jet. Okay. And his shirt used to be completely wet with tears. fully wet, not because of sweat, but tears. These are not tears of anxiety, tears of joy, love. So this is how we should actually cry for Krishna. Our Guru Maharaj says, you must cry for Krishna. Then if you're not able to cry for Krishna, you must cry that you are not able to cry for Krishna. If you're not able to cry that you are not crying for Krishna, you should cry that you are not able to cry, that you are not able to cry for Krishna. Like that, he goes on saying, should cry that you are not able to cry, that you are not able to cry, you are not able to cry for Krishna. Ultimately, you should cry for Krishna. That's the thing. That's devotional service, okay? Devotional service means chanting the holy names of Krishna and crying. Of course, I'm not saying become a sahajiya, manifesting. Some people, they are like, simply, they just want to show. Like our Guru Maharaj says, seems he went to one place and there was one devotee. As soon as all the devotees assembled, he started crying, rolling on the floor. And when people started leaving, he stopped. So Guru Maharaj was joking and saying, so that means his ecstasy stopped as soon as people were leaving. So not that. I'm not suggesting become a sahajiya and show some artificial symptoms and cry and unnaturally, artificially. But naturally, our heart melts when we do devotional service very nicely, okay? So mind becomes completely freed from material. This is the process of liberation. Mind becomes free from, detached from the material objectives. Right? And another example was given, right? Fish and the hook. So if you put a hook, the fish gets attracted to it, right? The fishing rod. You put a hook, the fish gets attracted and then it gets stuck. Right? Similarly, meditation upon the Lord Vishnu hooks us away from the material activity. It withdraws from. If you want withdrawal from material activity, it is not possible by any impersonal Mayavada, by simply sitting, silence, or sitting in summer, putting some fire around. All this kind of artificial processes won't help. This is the process. Devotional service. And mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objectives, right? And then we become freed from the material qualities. This is the process of rising above the three modes of material nature. This is the process. Then we become situated in the highest transcendental stage. And we then realize the relationship with Krishna. That time we understand that who am I, who is Krishna, that I'm servant of Krishna. We realize now, right now, we're simply repeating, I'm servant of Krishna, I'm servant of Krishna. That time we really realize I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And then we realize whatever happiness, difficulty that we got all this life is actually interactions of the modes of material nature. And because of false ego, which is a product of ignorance, our ahankara tattva is coming from tamoguna. Tamoguna. Actually, every activity of our life, we are doing only with false ego. Even Krishna consciousness, we do with false ego. I am doing it. I am a great person. I am a great person. I am a great devotee. Look how nicely I am fasting. This is called false ego. This false ego is a product of ignorance. Mode of material nature, tamoguna. Actually, we go beyond that, right? Yogi understands Supreme Lord. And then we understand the real identity, right? And then example is just like intoxicated person cannot understand whether he is wearing dress or not. Somebody, you see, there are some people who drink a lot. And after drinking a lot, they are on the street. And such a person, sometimes they remove the dress. And they don't know that they are naked also. So similarly, when we become fully realized, self-realized, just like how we remove the dress, that a drunkard removed the dress and he doesn't know whether the dress is there or not. Right now, this body is a dress. We are very conscious about this dress. When we become completely liberated, no, at that time, we are not conscious about the body. Whether the body is there, what is happening to the body, we don't care. That is the self-realization stage. Self-realization stage. There are many practical examples. Sometimes people ask, is there any liberated souls? Of course, there are many people are there. Why not? Just like our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. We have heard so many pastimes from him. How he 100% he knows that he is not the body. Despite of so many medical procedures he undergoes, he never gives up, never gets disappointed, never stops thinking about Krishna. Brain stroke, liver transplantation, liver transplantation, kidney transplantation, and skin surgery. There was some brain surgery also, I think. Skull, they did some surgery. And right now in dialysis. So anything, whatever may come, he is always in devotional service. So this is like a perfect realization stage, okay? So it's not like I'm not the body, 100% realized. Okay, so that is liberation platform. Even Prabhupada we saw, right? Prabhupada last video, how when he was leaving the body, he's joking with people, with his disciples. He's saying, okay, take me on parikrama. Then the disciples are saying, no, Prabhupada, if we take you, it's very dangerous. And Prabhupada is saying, anyways, I have to leave the body. Like Marichi said, either you have to die in the hands of Ravana or in the hands of Rama. Then let me die in the hands of Lord Ramchandra. Take me to the parikrama. And they're saying, Prabhupada, no, actually, when you're saying like this, we're feeling very separation from you. We're feeling very bad. Then he said, yes, actually, spiritual master must do like that you have intense attachment with me. And he's talking all of this very casually. They're saying, actually, the scientists are so foolish. They must actually see how I'm not eating food from so many days. I'm not having anything. The body is like completely gone, but still I'm so happy from inside, like completely cheerful. He's still dictating Bhagavatam. This is a realization stage. But where are we right now? Our stage is in a very, very opposite stage. If we get a small common cold also, we will cry. We have a small joint pains, we are complaining. Is it not? And every kind of mental problems, physical health problems, always suffering. Actually, we should get rid of this. That is the process. This process is for getting rid of these sufferings due to the body forever. It's a working process, a real process. It works. We have to simply take it. So the yogi, liberated yogi, you see, is taken charge of by the Supreme Lord. Self-realization is the goal of religion. Okay. Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma is not just doing some kind of a show that we are Hindus, like a rubber stamp. No, that is not Hinduism. That is not Sanatana. The Sanatana Dharma goal is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, do your goal, activity, work, and without attachment, become self-realized. Self-realization is the goal of life, not anything else. Not to just show that I'm externally very great person. Okay, worship me. I'm so religious. My religion is better than yours. This is not the goal. Okay. So the liberated soul is like in samadhi, highest perfectional stage of yoga, and does not accept the byproducts of material body as his own. And he considers his bodily activities like activities of a body in a dream. Just like, do you worry about your dreams? Some people do, but we don't have to. For example, let us say that you have given your favorite belonging, a car, as a loan to somebody in your dreams. After waking up, you'll be like, thank goodness, it was a dream, and you leave it. You'll not be waiting for the next day that, okay, now let me go back to the dream and get back my car. You don't think like that. At least normal people don't do that. So like that, the self-realized person, he sees that these activities of the body is just a dream. Just a dream. I have a family, I have children, I'm going to work, I'm coming back from work. It's a dream. So just go with the flow in a dream. Why are you getting so serious about something temporary and forgetting what is permanent, what is important, what is the essence? and doing the unnecessary external things and being lost in that. Because of great affection for family and wealth, one accepts son and some money as his own. And due to affection for material body, one thinks that it is his. But actually, they're different from him. Is it not? We are getting married. Why? They're saying we want settlement, settlement, settlement. What is that settlement? It never comes, this settlement. Settlement is self-realization. Settlement is not getting a education, not getting a job, not getting a wife, not getting a son, not getting a money, not getting a flat, not getting a car. That's not settlement. Settlement means self-realized. That is called real settlement, going back to God. So just for the affection of a family and wealth, we get children, we make money, everything, and then we think it's mine, it's mine, it's my house, it's my house, it's my house. It's not your house. It's not your land. If you see the land papers, if you trace it back, I mean, if it's a historic place, you can trace it back to thousands of years also. Some historic place, like for example, Venice is a very historic, very old place. Thousands of years the people are there. Or a historic place like Kashi. So thousands of people, years civilization is there. So if you trace back, okay, previous landowner, so and so, previous landowner, so and so, previous landowner, so and so, previous landowner, so and so. You can trace back to millions of years also. It is not yours. Wealth is not yours. As soon as a person is dead, the ornaments on the body will be taken out. They will not even burn along with that. Nobody is so fool that they will put, okay, oh, it's his necklace. Oh, Papa, let us keep it. They'll first remove and take it, and they'll burn the body. It's our illusion. My family, my children. Family is also not me. Wealth also not me. I'm different from the family and from the wealth. Family is just like a God-given runanubandha. Runanubandha means because of some previous past karmic reactions, so some people have come together as a group. That's it. Sometimes, just like in the water, they'll float together. Some straws will float together. After some time, they will separate. That's family. That's it. Everybody is on their own. Nobody's related, factually. Today, somebody is my father. Tomorrow, somebody else is my father. We have thousands of fathers, thousands of mothers. It's different. So liberated soul understands that he's not the body. He's completely realized. He's not simply saying that I am not the body. He's really realizing it, okay? So now interesting. Blazing fire is different from the flames and spark from the smoke. Everything is connected, born from the same wood. Right? So similarly, Lord is Parabrahma. He is different from Jiva and the 5 elements and consciousness. Like fire is different from the spark. Krishna is different from living entity. Spark is living entity. Krishna is the fire. Right? And that wood is the material nature. What is the difficulty in understanding this? So the fire is the original thing. Right? We are all the sparks of the fire. But our problem is, because we are not as powerful as the fire, we are small spark. We are falling on a damp wood. That wood is the material body. If the body is damp, means very less spiritual person. If we are not spiritual, means damp wood. Spark is getting extinguished. We want to fan this spark and become a fire. We want a blazing fire in our life. So it should fall on a dry wood. Dry wood means spiritual life, spiritually conducive life. Do everything in life. Okay, have a family, have children, everything is there. But we have to set this devotional service either in 6 months or in 1 year or 2 years or 10 years. We cannot say even after 30 years that I am not able to set devotional service. I am still busy. This is madness. We should not do that. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Parabrahman. Yogi should see the same soul in all manifestations, and in this way, devotee should see all the living entities without distinction. That is the realization of the Supreme Soul. We should be able to see that everybody is equal in the sense that everybody is a part and parcel of Lord. Just like the fire, another example is given. Fire in different forms of wood, in different way it is exhibited. If you give small wood, it'll burn in a different way. If you give a large wood, it will burn in a different way. If you are burning it on CNG, fire comes in a different way. Based on the fuel, the fire manifests in a different color, different nature, different magnitude. So similarly, based on the three modes of material nature, the pure spirit soul manifests in different bodies. But the spirit soul or the fire element is the same. The nature of the fire element in every fire is the same. The color may be different, magnitude may be different. Similarly, a mosquito or a small ant or a small worm also, or a dog on the street also, and a human being or a whale in the ocean or the birds in the sky, everything is the same spirit soul, okay, manifested with a different modes of material nature. It's the same thing. So this realization comes for the yogi. So in the self-realization position, after conquering the insurmountable spell of Maya, this Maya is insurmountable, means it's not easy to defeat Maya. The only way to defeat Maya is Krishna consciousness. Why? Because Krishna is the Lord of Maya. If we engage in the service of the Lord of Maya, we get his nature and therefore we can conquer Maya. Otherwise, it is impossible. If we take to the worship of those people, living entities, or ancestors, or demigods, who are themselves under the spell of Maya, who are themselves not conquered the mode of passion, mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, we can never become liberated. The only way for liberation is worship of Mukunda, the bestower of liberation, who is Nirguna, who is completely free from the modes of material nature. Right? And we have to do it in a serious way, sincere way, no cheating. Okay? We should not try to cheat Lord. Because we are not doing it for anybody's satisfaction. We are doing it for ourselves. Is it not? Why we are doing spiritual service? Why serving the Lord? Right? Because it will help you. It's Atma Uddhara, to benefit myself. It's the best thing that I can do for myself. It is actually Nate Vidum Swartha Gatim Ki Vishnum. That means actually selfishness means the real selfishness. The correct selfishness is to worship Vishnu, to serve the Lord. That is called real selfishness. The so-called selfishness out of the false ego is not really helpful for us. That is serving Maya, serving three modes of material nature, serving the body, serving the bodily relationship, serving the thing. This is all simply entangling us more and more and more. Okay, we can never come out of this three modes of material nature by doing this, by continuing this cheating religious principles. Right? Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna devotees. I'll stop here. If any questions, you can ask Hare Krishna. Then pranams. Hare Krishna. Any
Hare
questions?
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu,
Yes,
I had a request, Prabhu. I think I just missed. You were talking about the mala of
Vanamala, garland of Lord. Voice is breaking. Mataji, are you saying something? Can't hear you. Is it only me? Unable to hear Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna devotee.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, when you were describing the ornaments of the Lord, you were talking about the necklace in. Prabhu, I lost a little bit of concentration there.
Mataji, come again, please. Sorry.
Prabhuji, when you were describing about the Lord's ornaments, you spoke about the necklace in his neck, and
Yes.
it was connected with living entities.
Yes.
That portion, can you kindly explain?
Sure.
I think I missed it. Can you please,
Sure.
Prabhu?
Yes, sure. There is a beautiful pearl necklace that the Lord is wearing. So they are representing the pure living entities who are always engaging in the service of Krishna. So there are some living entities who are always in the service of Krishna.
I lost your voice, Prabhu, once.
Yes.
They represent the pure.
Living entities who are serving Krishna.
Okay.
They are living entities who are serving Krishna. These pure living entities who are always serving Krishna. They are the pearls in the necklace of the Lord. They are the representatives.
Okay.
Got it, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank
I'd
you.
never heard of it, so I was not very sure. Like, thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yes,
I mean, जो शिव जी के गले में है, I mean, we keep talking about this, but this is something which I never heard. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
yes, thank you. And Lord Shiva's necklace, he's
It's
wearing a necklace of
Rundmala,
skulls.
yes, that's Parvati's, all
Yes.
her this thing.
That
But-
is also there. Another explanation is these are the skulls of devotees of Lord Vishnu.
Okay, no, okay.
Yeah, because the devotees of Vishnu, their body
Krishna
becomes
or Shiva,
spiritual.
Prabhuji?
Devotees of Vishnu, Mataji,
Shiva will wear
Shiva will wear. Yes,
because he is Vaishnavite.
yes, that's right.
So
There's a
nice,
past-
Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this explanation I hadn't heard, because
Yes.
even when Narada
there.
comes to entice her, he tells her, then Shiva tells her, yeah, this is your form of fun. And anyway, Parvati is a Vaishnava. So
Yeah,
it's the
in
same
that way
thing.
we can understand. So there's
Yeah,
a,
it's the same thing.
the idea is like when we become devotee of Vishnu, when we are doing devotional service, let's now we saw yogi, we become spiritualized, right?
Yeah.
We are rising above the three modes of material nature, and the body becomes spiritual. So that body is no longer dirty. That's why Vaishnava, you see, Samadhi, we are worshipping Vaishnava Samadhi. We are not saying Vaishnava Samadhi means Smashan. We are worshipping, right? Vaishnava Samadhi we worship because the body is also very spiritual. Similarly, I tell you one example in Gita Mahatmya, Lord Shiva tells one story. What happens is there is an eagle that comes to kill one bird and it cuts the head, and the head of that bird falls inside one skull, and then the bird becomes liberated. Then Parvati asks, why, how liberation? Then this skull is the skull of a devotee. Okay. So because it fell in the skull of a devotee, the bird became liberated. So that means the skull is now spiritual. It's not a normal skull. Skull of a devotee. So if you're doing devotional service, reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna, our body is no longer like a dirty body. Okay, it becomes spiritual body. So that Lord Shiva is wearing. Not taking some dead bodies and wearing. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank
Krishna,
you.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as you said, some 20 years before, I had learned Siddha Samadhi Yoga. Then I learned Art of Living. Then I learned NLP. But after joining Krishna Conscious, my search just ended. So after coming to Bhakti Yoga, there is no more search. There is a full stop for that. And this is my experience. And now even if I try to do some pranayama, it is not permitting. I cannot do. So many people are sending me so many links of yoga. I'll think, okay, let me join today. So I'm fully under the control of the Lord. I feel I cannot join the class. Every day I try. Okay, let me just try this batch. It's not happening. So this is the truth. Everything is waste. Ultimately, Bhakti Yoga is the best.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for adding your realization. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a few doubts, just maybe very childish or whatever. You said Lord Krishna is Nirguna.
Yes.
Nirguna Avatara, right? What did you say? Actually, didn't get that
Nirguna.
word.
Nirguna. He's Nirguna.
Yeah, Nirguna means he's above the three modes of material
Yes.
nature.
He's
Not
above the three modes of. He's not contaminated by the three modes of material nature.
of material. That is all, right?
That's all.
Otherwise, he has a body.
Of course, he has a body. It's
Which is
spiritual body.
spiritual. Which is
It's a
spiritual.
spiritual body. It's 100% pure spiritual body. Parabrahman is a spiritual body. It's not
Okay,
a body
and-
like us, which deteriorates, which is in the
yes.
three modes of material nature, which is a different
Okay.
nature completely. Yes.
And one more thing is, you said we have deities in the form of what is that, Vishnu lying down on the Ananta Shesha. We have it in Trivandrum and one in Vrindavan, right?
We have many Mataji. Hundreds are there all
Okay.
over south
The
and
country.
north, everywhere. There are so many deities, 108 Divya Desham, so many are there. Like some of the deity, Lord Vishnu sleeping, sometimes he's standing,
And
sometimes
these are
sitting.
Swayambhu, meaning how is it possible, Prabhuji? It's difficult for me to even imagine. From maybe my mind is so corrupt.
Yes, Swayambhu, some of the deities are Swayambhu, yes. Actually, the recent also, these are like many millions of years old, some of the deities. Okay.
Swayambhu meaning it has come on its own.
Self-manifested, yes. Nobody has actually carved. I'll tell you, there is one Swayambhu Krishna Archa Vigraha in Vrindavan. Can anybody help me?
Yes.
What's the name of that?
It
It's,
is near that Milk Ocean, Prabhuji. I just watched that Vrindavan web series.
not Milk Ocean. Is it Govinda
Milk
Deva?
Kunda.
Sakshi Gopal.
Not Gosakshi.
No.
Vrindavan. Vrindavan, there is one deity of one of the Goswamis. From Shaligrama Shila, it has manifested.
Radharaman.
Radharaman. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Radharaman. I'll show you the deity, Mataji. Just see this deity. This is a self-manifested deity. Let me show you.
Prabhuji, there is one Milk Ocean Kunda, no? From that, there is one Swayambhu, what is that, Vishnu, which Krishna himself wanted to, actually Radha asked Krishna to show her that form. So he showed her, and then that Murti came out of that Kunda, it seems.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know that story. I can show you this. Are you able to see the teeth inside this?
Yes.
How can you carve teeth inside the mouth? This is a self-manifested deity, actually. Nobody can carve teeth inside the lips. And then,
Prabhuji, probably this is the one I saw yesterday in Vrindavan's web series.
yes, this
I
is a
will share
self-manifested. Yes. And then the beauty is, if you look at it, sometimes you can see the teeth, sometimes you can't see the teeth. So this is the deity of Gopal Bhatt Goswami, I think. Shaligram Shila turned into deity. So like that, there are so many pastimes. Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dhanyavad Pranam. Hare Krishna. Yes. Okay, devotees, thank you so much. And let's just chant 11 times Narsimha prayers. And how about Narsimha Arti? Anybody wants to sing Narsimha Arti? I'll stop the recording.